Hello everybody, this is Debo with Debo's Movie Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Godfather 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Al Pacino as Michael Corleone, Robert De Niro as young Vito Corleone, Robert Duvall as Tom Hagen, Diane Keaton as Kay Corleone, with John Cazale as Fredo, Talia Shire as Connie, Lee Strasberg as Hyman Roth, Michael Gazzo as Frank Pentangeli, with G.D. Spradlin as Senator Geary, Richard Bright as Al Neary, Reno Kirby as young Clemenza, and Morgana King as Ma Corleone. We never really known her actual first name. Along with Johnny Dominic Chinese as Johnny Ola. Yeah, I gotta say, when it comes to sequels, Godfather 2 kind of reigns supreme with the first one. Though I'll say the Godfather trilogy usually they've been critically acclaimed, despite the flaws of Free. Which in my opinion, kind of proves the credibility of awards. But I ain't gonna knock Godfather 2. I mean, great movie, but while the game was great concept, poor execution. But this is about the movie, which I can say in both of these about how casting candidates, how like a lot of them were all other characters were based on real people, whereas Hyman Roth was based on Meyer Lansky. Who else? Pat Geary in Godfather 2 was based on JFK, and of course Johnny Fontaine from the first one was originally based off Sinatra, and was originally planning to get wanted to get Sinatra for a part, but he read the book and it was just like way too obvious. Whereas De Niro pretty much got his first Oscar for this movie, which pretty much put him on the map. And instead of a great acting team up of Pacino and De Niro, with this, Heat, and lesser known Righteous Kill, and of course Irishman, which I've already reviewed. And it's pretty much say excellent cinematography and acting all around. I'd say, though my own opinion, I'll say the flaws were kind of like lack of a period music, but hey, not all of them need them, but they do help. Whereas this one was pretty much straight movie, and this one though I do say the flashbacks were only referenced in one chapter of Godfather, or the Godfather book, which only did one chapter, and the whole Las Vegas thing and business there, and so was straight movie. Kind of, and I can't say I got that really got as far, so I can't really know if Fredo actually died in the book or not, but I know Sonny did, and probably Carlo Rizzi did in the first one, and well, you got back to what I was saying. Well, you got I do say you got an excellent performance by Reno Kirby as young Clemenza, who only appeared in flashbacks because canonically in the movie, they wrote off Clemenza as died shortly after the events of the first movie from a heart attack, given how the actor who played him didn't want to, was lost weight after production and didn't want to get fat, pack on pounds again to do a second movie. Despite the fact that Tessio dies in the first one, but comes back in flashbacks, kind of like what Brando was supposed to have come back, did a flashback scene, but with some behind the scenes drama and all, he turned down a flashback cameo, whereas James Caan only did it if he was paid the same amount he did for the first movie. Which I kind of said that, and I'll say great character development for John Cazale, or how to pronounce that name, given how the whole relationship of the Dumbo, but excellent Fredo, and comes down to it, I don't actually believe Fredo intentionally betrayed Michael, but was coerced because Vito made Michael die because Fredo wasn't completely too bright about it, and Fredo kind of did know it, but he was. I'm not gonna completely say he was completely aware on it, despite how pissed off Michael was about it, and rightfully so. But then again, knowing that John Cazale died in '78, he wouldn't have been able to come back for the third movie anyway. Had they not decided to bump him off had Michael decided not to just have him killed just after the whole thing, and after you get Connie trying to convince him to forgive, because Fredo was kind of on the retarded side, and I don't mean to offend nobody by saying that, but that is a technical term to decide the PC answer to it. But I do gotta say some excellent fights scenes with the Cuba raid, Vito shooting that guy in a white suit, I can't remember, and then getting revenge on Don Ciccio or whoever who had his family killed back in the old country. And of course, excellent portrayals of the Senate committee when Frank became the snitch after faking his death. And I gotta give it a great performance by Harry Dean Stanton as one of the bodyguards on it, protecting him. Along with Robert Duvall, of course, as Tom Hagen. Which I'm kind of surprised they didn't convince him to come back for the third movie, but which they just wrote him off as long passed off in the third one. But that's enough about the third one, because I'll say that for a review on that. But overall, Godfather 2, excellent. Whereas, back to what I was saying about the whole differences in the book and the movie, whereas the book had the whole Las Vegas and probably the Senate committee, which was loosely based on the McClellan Committee hearings back in the 50s where the Kennedys made Jimmy Hoffa their bitch. And of course, Pat Geary was loosely supposed to be based on Kennedy, but on John Kennedy, but they didn't do surprised they didn't do another one character to be based on Bobby Kennedy. But overall, Godfather 2, excellent 5 out of 5 masterpiece. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy my review as much as y'all did that movie, and I'll keep dishing them out.